You're on.
We're good.
Good afternoon. My name is Bruce Olson. I'm the chair of the Board of Civil Authority for the town of Elmore. At today's hearing, we will be hearing from the complaint of Janet Brack, who owns a property at 468 Camp Road. Parcel ID number is 20/21/56.000. Everyone here has taken the oath, the Board of Civil Authority oath. Now we have two people on here. Would they both be participating in this hearing?
Yes,
I backwards.
Yes?
yes.
So
Did you just write their name down on the sheet?
what is this? I'm sorry, we didn't get, we have Janet's name. What is the other name?
Rachel?
Farley.
Okay. Okay, I would then ask Janet Brack and Rachel Farley to take this oath. Quote, I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will well and truly hear and determine all matters at issue between taxpayers and listers submitted for this decision, so help me God. This is the Board of Civil Authority one. Is there another here? Do you affirm?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, they both affirm. Thank you. I would ask the appellant if you've received a copy of the rules of procedure and whether you have any questions about how the hearing will proceed.
Yes, I did receive the quite extensive list of the rules, and I'm not going to lie, I'm to say that I understood all of them. So is there some type of a summary you can provide to me, like on how
Well,
we're going to proceed with this?
Well, do you have any specific questions that we can answer for you?
Well, I guess in general, yes. Do I present to you? Are you going to give me some response to the letter that I sent, or just what order is this going to go in, I guess?
Well, here's what will happen. The listers will introduce the property on appeal by describing the property and its present valuation. The appellant will then present their valuation and supporting evidence.
Okay,
The listers will respond to the information presented by the appellant. Then there will be questions from the BCA members. Then we'll ask the listers to present their valuation and supporting evidence. The appellant will then be asked to respond to the information presented by the listers, and then other questions by the BCA members. And then at that point, after we've had a discussion of what's been presented by both the listers and the appellant, we will appoint an inspection committee to inspect the property at a date and time set by the chair, and then report its findings back to the Board of Civil Authority. And at that point, then we will recess to a date and time not more than 30 days from the hearing to accept the inspection committee report. We will reopen the hearing at that date and time. We will invite the inspection committee to present its report, invite final comments from the BCA, invite final comments from the appellant, invite final comments from the listers, and we'll close the hearings, and then the BCA will go into a deliberative session, which is not an open meeting, and then we will issue a decision in writing within 15 days. Is there any question on that? So
no,
essentially what we're doing, we're going back and forth. And we're so providing an opportunity to ask questions.
perfect.
Okay, I will first ask the BCA Board of Civil Authority members to disclose any conflict of interest or any ex parte communication. Does anybody have any or any conflict of
No.
interest?
No.
No.
Okay, everyone has answered in a negative. I will then ask the listers now to introduce the property by describing the property and its present valuation.
Just passing around paper that you.
Has this been provided to the appellants? Do the appellants have this?
They do know. And send it on.
We,
Me too.
yes, please. Thank you. Oh, is there an extra one there?
There's an extra one here.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
extra packet.
Okay, we've asked the clerk to make copies and provide you with that information of what the listers have found.
Okay,
And then we'll begin from there. So it may take us a couple of minutes. Appreciate your patience.
Okay.
Email.
Janet needs-
We can send it to her.
I'll read this out loud if you want.
Yeah, I can.
Right.
That'll- and stuff.
Gonna-
Better way if the computer would bring it up on the screen, but. That'd be faster just to read it. It's definitely faster.
When would he draw?
Were you able to send that to them?
Yep.
Great.
Able to get that?
Have you received that email?
Looking. Nothing yet.
Just reading it out loud. with the
Yeah, well,
expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you wanna do that?
Okay, we're gonna proceed.
And I'll read it to you and then you'll also get it.
Can you hear her?
I can, yes.
Give her color.
Carla, I'm one of the listers. So when Janet grieved, we did approve the grievance and reduced her land value by 53,100 as a result of the grievance. The listers pulled comparable properties closest to Mrs. Brack and found that the lowering of her land value by 53,100 was more than fair and equitable with neighboring property. Listers looked at the size of acreage, depth, and grade of the following properties. So 374 Camp Road was 0.7 acres. Their grade is 2.5 and their land value is 626.9. With a total value of 873.7. 394 Camp Road is 0.41 acres. Grade is 2.5, 582.5 is the land value, 747.4 is total value. 414 Camp Road is 0.37 acres. The grade is 2.5, land value is 582.5, and the total value is 981.8. And then 430 Camp Road is 0.4 acres, grade is 2.5, land value is 600,000, and the total value is 827.3. And in your camp, 468 Camp Road is 0.42 acres, grade is 2.5. We lowered the land to 579.4, and your total value is 693.5. 478 Camp Road is 0.25 acres. Their grade is a 2.0. Reason it's 2.0 and not 2.5 is they only have a quarter of an acre or less. You'll notice the grade goes down. So their land value is 400,000. Their total value is 91.3. 504 Camp Road is 0.37 acres, grade of 2.5, 600,000 valuation. Total value is 996.3. And then 524 Camp Road is 0.23 acres. So their grade is a 2.0 and their land is 430 and their total value is 502.8. We did go through the list that you provided us of some of the camps and things for reference. And we find that the properties were not comparable to your property, and there's the reasons why. 93 West Loop is on the opposite side of the lake. There's different grades on the back side of the lake. 101 Wigner Road is opposite side of the lake. 144 Point Road was the opposite side of the lake. 103 Sergeant Road is opposite side. 904 Camp Road is way down the end and it's in the swamp. They don't have access year round. It's off of the boat access. So that's way down. It's not comparable to the same part of the lake. 272 Camp Road, we did find, they should be a grade 2.5. They'll be changing. Due to the lot size. So we will be changing that. 487 Camp Road is on the opposite side of the road, so it's not a lake frontage lot.
All right, what we get,
Did she get it? Did you
Did you
receive
get
it?
this now? Did you get it so you can see it?
Your document?
No, it has not come through to my email yet, and it's not in my junk folder.
you know, her, do you have her
Yeah,
email or
we've
just,
been talking back and forth.
no, this is,
Janet, right?
no, it's not Janet. Janet, do you have it?
No,
Sam, what?
Oh, Rachel,
want me to-
okay.
Hi, Rachel's.
No,
Only Janet. I only been talking with Janet.
what
then
did you?
maybe Send the
who-
email.
I'm sorry,
Rachel.
who sent it to me?
I did, Sandra Cass.
Okay, I don't have it.
Sandra, you want to try sending it from our computers?
No,
Okay,
I'll try again.
Well,
okay.
I think I listened to what you were saying and it matches what we have in front of us.
well, hold on. So now we need to hear from the appellates first.
Right, if it's the same.
I just, do we need to wait for them to receive it? I guess is my question.
Yeah,
Well,
I think so.
just
Okay.
give it a second.
I guess.
Yeah, but they need to have it in front of them.
Can you read my email address?
She's in the other room.
She's
Oh.
resending it.
I just want to make sure she didn't have a typo or the wrong email
Right.
address.
What is your email address? I'll make
It's-
sure she has that.
J BRACK 54 @outlook.com.
Okay, JBRACK, no caps.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, it's right here.
All right, there.
54.
It's been marking right on.
All right. I think that she has had it, right?
So it's gone.
I've received emails from the Lister's office and I've received emails from other folks.
Sandra.
From who? The last one?
Like,
Send it again.
We just sent it to,
Okay, Sandra just sent me something.
That's
Yeah.
it?
That's it.
How are
Okay,
how are we supposed to prepare for something and we have 17 more minutes left in this meeting to review that document and be able to understand and compare it to what we've researched? How is that
well,
making
you don't have
sense?
17 minutes left in the meeting. We'll take as long as we need to do. And we've just received your information today and we're asking you to explain your side of this issue. And I'd
Okay.
ask you to proceed now. Thank you.
Okay, so let me provide a little bit of clarification here, if you don't mind. I sent the data that I sent last week. And today what I sent was I sent the spreadsheet and I sent my data last week. And this morning and this afternoon when I got home from Maine, I took the spreadsheet and I broke it out into individual sheets because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to present it to you and filter it for you to get all the information. So this information was sent a week ago.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we don't look at the information until you explain it. So I'm asking you to explain the information.
Okay. Let me get back to Rachel, I just sent you the documentation,
Okay.
which I'm not going to have time to digest and,
Right.
do anything with it. But to your point, I did prepare a lot of information. So what I have requested on several occasions to the town of Elmore, the listers, and to the actual company who did the assessment, I have asked for like land schedules, base land values, what the grades mean, what the classifications are, how the frontage all plays into it, the size of the property, and I've received zero information back, zero. So what I did is I went and to the company who did the reassessment last spring, I think it was March or April. I went to their website to find properties that were similar to my land size, similar to my lot size, similar to my frontage, similar to my grade. And then I looked at some recent sales and I combined all that into spreadsheets. And what I'd like to do is direct you to the first spreadsheet that I sent, which is, and again, my grievance is the land value. So I sorted the first one by land value. I have 22 properties. Half of those properties are on Camp Road. They're on my side of the lake. So I sorted it by land value. And if you look at the land value, I have the lot number and the address. So we'll pare it down to Camp Road. But if you look at it, the land values go from $165,000 up to $632,500, which is the current, which is the value that when I was doing this was what it was listed at. So out of the 22 properties, ours was the most, well, ours was the highest value. So, and then if you look at the second sheet that I sent, I sorted it by lot size. Ours is the third smallest lot size based on these properties that I chose, and yet ours is the highest value. It's the third smallest, yet the third, the highest in the property value. So then if you go to the next one, I did a sort on depth. And ours is one of the smallest one in depth, again, third, comparing it to the other 22 properties.
They're done on the lake.
So then if you go, I'm sorry?
But
Okay,
most of the
Oh,
yeah,
just keep going. Let her finish,
Oh.
please.
Okay. So then if you go to lakefront footage, it's anywhere from 50 feet to 350 feet of the properties, of the 22 properties I'm comparing our property with, and we're right in the middle. Again, with the highest land value. If you go to the next sheet, it's sorted by grade. And it's a grade 1. Again, those properties I understand are across the lake. A grade 1 all the way up to a grade 2.5. And some of them didn't have a grade in the documentation. And then I sorted it by quality. Again, have no idea what any of these 1.1 grade means versus a 2.5 or a quality of 3 versus a 4.5 or a 6. Have no idea. There's no documentation that tells me what that means. So then if you go to the, if there is the next to the last sheet that I sent you, it is based on the address and it's camp, they're all camp roads. 904 Camp Road, 487 Camp Road, 304, 648, 638, 272, and 468, which is my property. So that's 6 other properties on Camp Road. Only 2 of them have a grade of 2.5. The rest of them have a grade of 2. And if you look at the lot sizes, there's only one that's a little smaller. It's a 0.41, which happens to be my neighbor, and ours is a 2.5. Everything else is a 2 on Camp Road that I pulled for comparisons based on the lot size, the depth, and the frontage. Again, the values for all of these other properties are 375 up to 470. And the 470 was reduced because that had a sales price of $510,000 because it had a property on it, which was torn down. And so now the land value is 470. Another one that just sold was 529. Again, it's at the end of the lake, but still it's 2 times the land and 1.5 times the frontage, with a land value of 375 versus our land value, which is 632,500. I know that they're not exactly on Camp Road, but they are at the end of the lake, and all of these other properties are on the same side of the lake as I am. They have the same view that I have. They use the same water that I have. And their land value is significantly less. And the last one was the, so the one next door was my neighbor who was a 2.0 along with 5 other properties on Camp Road. So based on, if you go to the printed version that I sent you, I told you I'm focusing on the land value. If you go to page 2, based on land value, lot size, and frontage, grade, and quality, I picked 6 comparisons on Camp Road, and I've broken those out based on that criteria, the land value, the frontage, the acreage, and there's only one, which is next door to me, that's smaller. All of these are year-round homes with the exception of mine, which is a camp. I can only use my property 3 months out of the year, not because the road isn't plowed, but because it's not year-round. There's no heat source, there's no insulation, it's a camp. But based on the frontage alone, my value is per foot of lake frontage is $4,941 versus others, if you look at these, range as low as $1,875 per foot lakefront footage. So therefore, based on my analysis, the properties that I compared my property to on Camp Road, being a camp, seasonal, 3 months out of the year, I believe my grade should be a 2, like 5 others. And I also believe that our land value should be anywhere between $375,000 and $400,000.
You have anything else?
That's all I have for now.
Thank you. The listeners have anything to say in response?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
So in answer, first one up to your neighbor, that is one that we noted, that grade should be a 2.5, and we plan on changing that to a 2.5. We found that was an error.
Can you explain what the grade is?
The grade is a multiplier by where your property is. So yes, part of these are a 2.0, part of 2.5. She's in a very desirable part of that Camp Road, and that's why we put it out there, you know, that all the neighbors within her range are 2.5. When you get down to the end and the more swampy, or they have very narrow, smaller lots, they're right on the road. Their grade is a little bit lower. The lots aren't quite as nice. If you drive the Camp Road, you see that. So that's why some of the properties are like that. One of the properties I'd like to point out that you have on your list here that says 1.33 acres farther down, majority of that land is on the other side of the road. It's not on the lake side of the road, so that's why that land is valued less. We do have you on the camp schedule. which makes you it's not as a single family residence, you are in as a camp. Your camp value shows that, the property, the house value shows that it is less than neighboring houses,
I
Because
still
it is
can't-
camp
because it's a camp.
and not insult.
Yes. Camp schedule, that's what that means. It's pretty fair, basic.
Mhm.
No heat. So we do have it in as that.
Any,
Any other questions?
any questions from the BCA about what you've heard? Okay, do the listeners have anything else to present?
I have a question about what does the quality mean when they grade it by quality?
It's on the last sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use that as her
Yeah.
metric
Quality is another multiplier. Everything on the sheet is a
multiplier.
right? And the quality takes into a lot of things. It looks at structure, it looks at materials used, it's mostly the house. Are you talking about the house or the land? Or the whole package? Whole package, okay. So it looks at quality of the construction. It looks at, like, for instance, this is a camp. So you're looking at the quality for the camp schedule. There's schedules that go with all of these because they're multipliers. So you're looking at the camp schedule if it's labeled as camp. It pulls the camp schedule. So you're looking at things that are uninsulated, may not have year-round heat, may not have any floor coverings. A lot of times don't have a basement. A lot of times they're on posts, especially on the lake. There's a whole list of stuff that you look at when you look at quality. Yeah, in the walls. Insulation in the walls.
Yeah, I have a question because I guess what we're looking at here, the quality is still shown on land value. So there's still a quality of 3.5 on the land value on this chart here. So is that coming from somewhere else, or I mean, I'm just looking at this one on the bottom.
0.5. Oh, 3.5 is the quality of the camp.
Right,
Okay.
that's a camp, so it doesn't have anything to do with the land itself.
Correct.
Okay,
It's the
So
camp.
quality of the camp,
Uh,
structure is called quality for the
Okay.
building.
structurally,
Land is attacked by grade.
okay,
They work the
Got it.
same way. They're both multipliers,
Okay,
but they have different tables.
Got it.
that's a good clarification. Yeah.
okay. Got it.
And can I just confirm that the grievance is not related to the quality, but only the grade and the land value?
Correct.
Well, I was just gonna say, we don't know. We haven't been handed any schedules to understand how grade or quality is applied to the structure or the land. And so without the schedules and understanding how they are applied to this process, it's hard for us to tell what the grievance is.
And that is one of the things I've asked for at least a half a dozen times. I said, what does a grade 1 equal? What is a grade 1.1 equal? What is a grade 2? What is a grade 1.5? Nobody's been able to give me that information for the grade or the quality. But my biggest grievance, again, has to do with the land that's disproportionately valued based on the other properties that I've looked at on Camp Road that are a 2 and the values are much less.
Well, it's noted here that in 2004, the grade was 1.
Yes.
So
That would have been.
what happened between 2004 and now that it's 2.5?
Get all new tables every time you reappraise, and we just had a townwide reappraisal.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what was the answer to that?
I'm sorry, we just had a townwide reappraisal. When you do a townwide reappraisal, everything gets rewritten like it was day one. For the tables. Start all
So
over again.
somebody that was a 1 stayed a 1, but I was a 1 and I'm a 2.5.
Now, what I'm saying is the base tables all change based on sales in the town. So if your town sales go up high, the table amounts go up high. And it works vice versa. If you have a year where sales were really low, the tables start down at a lower amount. So when those tables attack what we have in the computer, you're equaling what sales happened that year. They either go up or they go down with the sales.
Okay, well,
We haven't been reappraised for like 10 years, and so the sales took a huge jump this year.
Okay.
So you will see that in the tables that are making these line by line items in your assessment sheet.
Okay, but the 3 properties that I mentioned that were sales, that was the land value, and their land value is substantially less than mine. And that was based on 3 sales, 3 land sales.
Was that before the assessment?
You can't really so when you're looking at sales, you can't really separate that out, because when you sell a property, you don't just sell the land or the camp, you sell it together.
I understand that, but you're the one that, your town, the town of Elmore, or this company, NEMRC,
Yeah.
separates that out, and your lister's sheet separated out, so I'm getting my 0.42 acres is assessed by the town at $632,000, but the one down the street from me towards a little closer to Camp Road, or the 2 down there are 0.2 and 0.5 something, and they're listed for 475 and 400. You're the one that broke it out, not me. So why is my land so much higher at the same acreage or less
It is
on
where
the
it
same
is. on
side of the lake?
It is.
Well, I have another question. She keeps referring to 632,500. And on this letter, you have 579,400. So you've already lowered it, correct?
Correct.
So really, we should be comparing 579, not 632, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason for lowering it to 579?
What was it?
It was 632.
No, but what was the reason?
Okay, it's
What you got? I could put in the wrong
Corrected.
bit, then we corrected
We
it.
corrected our records from the reappraisers who had a mistake in the record.
okay. So you corrected it. So the right number right now is 579,400.
That's what we have right now, yes.
But the grade remain the same.
Grade remains the same because of where it is on the lake.
So that's the appraised amount now
Correct.
For the land.
for the land.
Correct.
Well, total,
Well, for the property.
yes.
Okay.
Right.
Do the appellants have any other questions or comments?
I do have a question. When the response to the original grievance was just read to us at the beginning of this, it was, and I couldn't tell, there's so many of you there, I don't know who was reading it, but somebody had said the reason for the grade being 2.5 is that anything on Camp Road over a quarter of an acre should be 2.5. But if
No,
you-
just part of that side is.
Okay. Well, but then you went on, or somebody went on to then talk about the desirability of the land. So is it the acreage or is it something subjective like desirability? And I would like to say, like, as we're moving forward and there's a site tour and everything else, I think we should have these schedules that everybody else is referring to. So we can understand some of these subjective things that are being applied to the land and are being called multipliers. I think it's only fair for us to understand how things are being measured.
I would love to give you the schedules if I had one. You are going to have to get them from Nemrick. I have no idea what they did. I've been here
Excuse me?
for 30 years, and I can tell you any other schedule in this office, I cannot tell you what they did.
Well, how do you then know like the quarter of an acre measurement and the desirability? And your opinion mattered when we grieved the land value. So how do you decide if you aren't given the information? That's hard for us to understand as property owners.
So what the listers look at is the bottom number. If you fit in with the properties that have sold in the past, everything in this office is sales. We corrected 250 records that we felt were not correct in their tables that they used. I do not have a schedule of their tables that they used. And I think I sent you guys to Nemrick and they blew you off without giving me anything. I'm gonna
And
see
they-
if I can follow that up and make them give you what you're asking for. But I
Well,
can't guarantee they're gonna, because they're an independent company that were hired to do these reappraisals, and the listers don't have any say in it.
Well, they did blow me off and they went back to you
Right.
and said that they would help the town of Elmore with
Yeah,
whatever they needed, but they weren't gonna help me. And they didn't
Correct.
think it was their duty to help me as a property owner, even though they come up with these assessments.
Correct.
But in addition to that, they said that they use a, what's it called? Marshall and Swift. Yet if I look at Marshall and Swift, they have letters, A, B, C, D, etc., not 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.5, 2, 2.1. They have different measurements. So if they're using apples and you've got oranges in my listing sheet, they're never gonna match.
What you have in your listing sheet in front of you is what they did. The only thing we did was give you the deduction that we already gave you.
Good job.
We enter in your road frontage, your lake frontage, the depth program gives us a number. And
Based on
that's
sales.
based on sales, and if you're part of the lake you're on, there aren't a lot of sales because people hold on to those properties.
Adjustment.
So they adjust for
Yeah.
that.
That seems like that's why this should all fall into an equation. We cannot help how many sales happen in a town, and it should be length times width or acreage equals this. It should be an equation and less subjectivity. And I'm wondering if a next appropriate step is for us to get an appraisal of the property, because I don't think our 3-season 105-year-old camp is going to sell for $700,000 on the open market.
That's totally up to you if that's what you want to
But
do.
would that be something that would be taken into consideration?
As far as the lister's concerned, absolutely.
Okay.
So then I still would appreciate the town getting these schedules so that we can understand. When I get my property value and I get your lister sheet that you've broken these categories out, I should be able to understand what a 2 is versus a 2.5, or what a 1 is versus a 4. There should be definitions or classifications for each one of those, not just, I don't know.
Right. I'll try. I'll try to get those for you.
Well, has no one else in the town ever asked for these? In the
They're
whole
big-
town of Elmore?
Well, the assessments in the town of Elmore are based on sales. So the answer is, what you really should be studying are the sales that happen within the town that these reappraisers base the whole reappraisal on. But they also are using tables to come up with those amounts. Those line items you see, they're putting in information that they gathered to come up with the total at the bottom, which is based on sales in the town. We have a sales book in the office. I'd be happy to share it with you. But it's multiple pages.
But yes, and I do
Yeah.
appreciate that, but again, based on the properties that I chose on Camp Road, 2 of those land. And those aren't old sales. Those were within the last 24 months. And then that one at the end just sold, and I know you're saying it's at the end. And I also have heard things like, well, you're in a desirable area and you have less muck in your lake than somebody in front of your lake house than somebody else does. But none of this is all very like loosey-goosey. There's no definitions for any of this. And I think that's terribly unfair. And I can't believe I'm the first person who's asked for this.
If you had asked me 2 years ago, I would have given you the tables. I don't have them and I don't know how to get them, but I will certainly try.
Okay, I would
Okay.
very much appreciate
They-
that.
Nemrick did it independently from the listers. Okay, I'll try.
Right, I do understand that this is an independent company that did this, but now the town, you know, in order to prove to me that this is a fair, equitable assessment, it's got to be based on something. And if you don't have that data, I don't know how anyone can sit here and say that property is worth that much.
Based on the sales from the town. And I'll be happy to send those to you, but like I said, it's multiple pages, but I'll be happy to send it. They take 3 years of sales and they adjust them up to real time, and that's what everybody's based on. All those tables that you see in line items, they're all calculated from the sales that happened within the town in the last 3 years, adjusted by time. Okay.
Okay, but I guess what I'm interested in mostly is not necessarily the town, because you're going to dismiss anything that's not on the lake, and you're going to dismiss anything that's not on my side of the lake, and you're going to dismiss anything that's a lot smaller or a lot larger, or there's so many things that get dismissed. So that's why I tried to pick properties on Camp Road on my side as a comparable, and that's what led me to say that our property, whether it's at 600 or 575,000, is too high. And that's how I came to that conclusion. And I think based on the data I've presented, I've been able to show that.
Thank you.
Okay, the next step is that the BCA, the Board of Civil Authority, would like to do an inspection. And part of that is we also request to go into the house, into your camp. You do not have to be there, but somebody has to be there to let us in.
Mhm.
And we'd like to schedule that. We try to be as accommodating as possible. And we want to do that, I would say, within the next 2 weeks, if possible. The sooner the
Mhm.
better.
Mhm.
Will anybody be up here this week?
I will be, well, what is today? Yes. This week, actually, just trying to think. I have friends going in tomorrow. So I would prefer to be there.
Okay,
So can we set a date where I can be there?
we'll try. When will you be there?
Hang on, let me just go to my calendar, sorry. Do you usually go during the week?
We can go in the week. We can go on the weekend.
Hmm. Well, well, I guess I could give you access to our camp if you wanted to go tomorrow.
Got election tomorrow. so-
Yeah, we cannot do that. We have primary elections and a number of us are working on the polls, checking in voters.
Okay. Well, I could meet somebody at camp on the afternoon, August 19th, or I could meet someone on August 20th.
You need a calendar.
I'm good either day.
Yeah,
The 19th is a Wednesday.
19th is Wednesday.
It would have to be in the
Thursday.
That's
afternoon.
not a great day for me, but
Yeah.
no, me either. The 20th would be better.
20th.
Well,
I could do either.
how many people on the BCA can do the 19th? Trevor, you can do it. I can do it.
I would prefer not to.
Oh,
I have people at my house that I gave birth to. They're coming back.
okay.
Okay.
Is there any other day, the 18th or the 20th, that would be acceptable to you?
The 20th is fine.
No, let me hear.
Well, it's,
I'm asking
No,
that.
I can't. I have family obligations. I'm babysitting overnight for my grandchildren, the 17th. That's why I said the afternoon of the 19th. I could do you can't do the 20th or the 21st?
I'm asking. So you could do the 20th,
I can do the 20th.
20th?
I'm
20th.
good.
I could do the
20th.
20th. Well,
Looks like, what is the better time for people? Can we do like 3 in the afternoon? Would that work?
Yes,
Okay, is that okay with
yeah.
you, Trent? You don't have to be there if we have.
Yeah, if you don't need me, then that's fine
No,
with me.
but you've
Okay.
got 3 other
Enough.
people, right?
All right, so
Diane.
we were gonna schedule the inspection for Thursday, August 20th at 3 p.m.
Meet at the house?
We will meet at your house,
okay.
okay?
And how many
Alright.
people will be coming?
We could have 1,
Four.
2, 4 or 5.
Okay,
We only need 2.
You only need 3.
I know, but
That's fine.
Well, we'll figure that.
Yeah, we'll get it out.
Not be able to
Alright.
make it.
we'll have enough, that's for sure. Okay, then, if there's no other questions about that, then we will stand in recess until after the inspection. The BCA will receive a report from the inspection committee, and then we will reconvene at that point for last comments before we go into deliberative session to make a decision on your appeal. Okay?
okay,
All
Great.
right, well, thank you.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye.